I want you to go outside, find a big open field or a large forest just like this one. Look around. What do all these areas have in common? That's right, dirt. Actually, it's not dirt, it's soil. What's the difference, you ask? Well, soil also contains dirt. It is full of organic materials and nutrients which allow for plants to grow. Dirt, on the other hand, is a mixture of sand, silt, and clay, which have no ability to support plant life. That's not to say that the dirt within soil isn't important. Soil texture plays a large role in determining if that soil is able to sustain life. Each one is a different particle size, with sand at the largest, then silt, and finally clay. The bigger the particle is, the less densely packed they can be, giving it a lower water holding capacity, or how long the soil is able to hold on to water. On the other hand, smaller particles are densely packed, giving the soil a high water holding capacity. For plants to grow, the water holding capacity has to be just right. Too much sand and the water drains too quickly before plants have a chance to intake the water. Too much clay, the water sticks around too long, overwatering and drowning the plant. Even though the dirt within soil is important, it's the other components that really matter. Soil forms in layers, or horizons. At the top is the O horizon, which is a thin layer full of mostly organic material. Next comes the A horizon, or the topsoil, which is filled with both nutrients and organic matter, which plants need to live. Next comes the B horizon, or the subsoil, which contains mostly nutrients. Last comes the C horizon, which contains mostly weathered rock, which will eventually erode to form the A and B horizons. All this talk about nutrients, and I still haven't explained what they are. The biggest two limiting factors for plant growth are nitrogen and phosphorus. Nitrogen is essential for the growth of plants and in the production of chlorophyll, an essential part of photosynthesis. Phosphorus, on the other hand, is essential for the growth of plant roots and in the storage of energy, which means without it, plants cannot survive long term. The organic material within soil consists of both the living and the dead. The living tend to be small microorganisms such as bacteria or fungi, or insects or earthworms, which take the dead, plant material, dead organisms, manure, and decompose it, which allows for the nitrogen and phosphorus within them to become available for plants to use through their roots. Another way organisms give plants nitrogen is through a process called nitrogen fixation, which is mainly done by rhizobacteria, which live in the root nodules of plants. This bacteria works to break apart the bonds of unusable nitrogen gas and fix it into forms like nitrate and ammonia, which plants can then intake through their roots. For plants to be able to grow, a lot has to happen. The soil texture has to be just right, the organic matter has to be present, and the nutrients have to be usable. So when you see something growing in the ground, don't ever think of it as just dirt. It's so much more than that. It's a thing that sustains life, including your own,